Okay, hi everyone. Okay, so in this video, right, I'll just briefly cover like how I took NVDA calls, right, the 165 calls, for swing on Friday for over around 300% profit, right, and then also I also took SPY calls overnight, right. I took the 388 call, expiring 20th June, 20th July, right? So those I sold for profit of around 60 over percent. Okay, so right, so let's dive in. Okay, so over here, so this is live on my free Discord channel, right? Y'all can see I took NVIDIA, right? 165 next week expiry, right, at 128 swing, right? And then I saw a dip opportunity, right, for me to add, right? So I added at 120, and then in this morning, yesterday morning I sold it for $5, half $5, and then the remaining I had a stop loss, right, at $4 that I caught out in the voice chat, right. Same thing for SPY, right. I had two ads for SPY, right. So SPY, right, the first one I think I added here 190, right, and then it did back down to 156, so I added 156. Okay, and then at the close it ripped up. I sold the 156 for at 198 during after hours, and then remaining ones I sold at 320 half, and then the rest stop loss at $3. Okay, so it was close to, the highest was around 300%. This one the highest was 60 over percent, right. This NVIDIA one eventually went over like $6, 650 or something, right. The contracts went over 400%, but I didn't catch the top, but I caught the meat of the move. Okay, so let me just dive in on the charts and then why I took them, right, for these profits. Okay, so this NVIDIA 5-minute chart. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart first. Okay, so daily chart, right, on my Twitter I also noted out in the room, right, I noted out this downtrend line, right, that was setting up, okay, for breakout. Alright, so NVIDIA looks quite bottom out, okay, but we are never sure, right. So what got me intrigued was this downtrend line, okay, that we broke out, or we were close to breaking out, right, on Thursday. So I saw this on Thursday, and then I thought, okay, if NVIDIA could have broke out on Friday, right, we could have set up a big move, on Monday or this week, right, which is what it did as I predicted, right. So so this is what the chart looks like on the daily, right, which form my thesis for a long trade. Okay, right, so going on, moving here, right, y'all can see why so I'll just tell y'all why I entered and the entries. Okay, so the first thing is the previous high of day, right, acted as support during intraday, right. So Thursday's high of day acted as support, right, during Friday's intraday session. Okay, so this, right, got me intrigued, right, okay, at least interested, right, because NVIDIA is holding this prior resistance that turned to support. Okay, do I know that there's a chance that E can break, right? Do I know that? No, but so I'm taking a calculated risk, right. So as y'all can see, I added around 2 p.m. Eastern time, right. Alright, so 2 p.m. trading time. So I added around here because I saw how we were still holding above the support, right? And in fact, printing higher lows and higher lows. Okay, so I know there's a high chance, this might push in the end of the high end of the day, right? So this is why I added around here. I added around 210, right? And then it dipped back down, right? Had a slight dip. Okay, this like higher low, right, that from this prior resistance on the 5-minute that turned to support. So this was where I was looking to enter, right. Should this came down here, then I would have cut, remove the ads, right, cut my ads, and then probably look to add around here, but it didn't. It did what I thought it would, which is prior resistance turned to support. Okay, so I added my like 10 contracts and then 10 contracts, right. So full, kind of like full position, right, because I was scaling in for swing for the following week. Okay, and then in the end, at the end of the day, it ripped up, but I didn't sell because of the big picture trade on the daily chart. Okay, So this was what it looked like yesterday, right, Monday. Okay, so Monday I just sold when I was very happy. Okay, so let me show you all this other chart that I had. Okay, so I had this value very high, just some of my levels, okay, that I charted out and called out. Okay, so in the morning, right, pre-market, we had this resistance, right, value area resistance at 159.44 that we broke and held as pre-market low, especially, and also this point of control, right? So we actually broke through a lot of key levels, even this one, 162.33. Okay, so actually, right, when we held all this level, especially in the morning, I was more confident in holding slightly longer, right, which helped me to sell close to 300%. Alright, so I sold on the push up here. This was my main target eventually, right? Actually, my main was this, right? But once we broke this, my main target was this, okay? And then I sold when it started to dip down, and then when the indices were not, the remaining ones I just set a stop loss, right? The contracts at $4, right? Because the indices were not doing that well, right? So you can see this was the NVDA contract, right? This was how it looked like. I added somewhere around this range, right? And then 120, 128, 120, right? And then I sold on the push to $5. And then when it came down, I just decided to set a stop, and then sold my remaining contracts. So this eventually went to 675. Okay, so this was a killer trade. Very happy with this trade. Alright, my thesis was the trade that I thought would happen. My thesis played out the way I wanted it to, right? Or even above my expectations. Okay, so yeah, this was a very good trade. Unfortunately, I couldn't sell here. This was my second target, but I was kind of impatient, because indices were kind of weak, especially ES, right? SPY was relatively weak on yesterday. Okay, so the second trade would be SPY. Okay, ES. Okay, so SPY, I took SPY's contract, right? I took the 388 call for 20th July, right? Expiring 20th July, because I wanted some time for this. Okay, so why I added this? Okay, so SPY was trading in this range. Okay, in my opinion, it was bullish, but not the best, not the cleanest price action on a trend day, correct? But nonetheless, I still thought, this looks bullish, right? Because of how well we held the highs, right? We were still printing higher lows and higher lows, right? So there was no clear indication to me that if we were printing, price was printing lower lows, right? Then the trend might have shifted, but it did not, right? Buyers were willing to purchase higher and higher, right? Just because so this is evident from the higher low. Okay, so as for the SPY trade, right, same thing, right? Y'all can see, right? I added first, and then wasn't my best ad, right? But then I add so this was my first ad, and then my second ad, and then I sold this ad at the end of the day, right? So first one, this one, I just added somewhere here, okay, around here, I can't remember. But the second ad was the one that helped me, gave me a cushion, right, for Monday, right? So the second ad, right, I knew, okay, there might be a possibility that SPY might, SPY might pull back, right, before end of day rip, right? This is what we see most of the time. Okay, so this was what happened actually, right? Over here you can see this was what SPY did. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so yeah, so at the end of the day we had a strong rip, right? So this was where I added my second ad. My second ad was the one that I was very proud of. Okay, the first one was just like kind of random. It wasn't the best, but I added at this 58 breakout of this 58 level, right, which was the prior high of day. So I added that. I thought we would continue to go, but unfortunately we actually pulled back a little bit, right? So over here was where I added. I noted this higher low on the 5-minute over here, so this was our prior support, right? 5-minute support, and then this was where I added, right? So immediately in like less than 10 minutes, right, we ripped up, right? And then I was able to sell in after hours, right? For like a quick profit, like 20% profit or something like this. Alright, but so this gave me at least a little bit of cushion, right, for Monday. So when comes Monday, right, came Monday, not the best, right? So Monday came, we ripped up, right, overnight like crazy, right? And then I just sold, over here, right? So opening range, right, this was the level. We couldn't break up, so I eventually just sold on this candle, and then I left a stop at $3 that sold all my remaining positions, right? So but still this was a good, 60% profit. Okay, so you can see on the contracts, like this was where I added like 156, right? Ripped up, I sold it after hours 198, nice cushion. And then over here, at the top, just now, like you see, when it rejected, I just sold the remaining and then set a stop, and then I got stopped out. Okay, so this was still not a bad trade. 60 over percent. Even with then, I still had a cushion, right? Still had quite a good bit profit, right, from Friday. So that added up as well. Okay, so this was the two best trade that I took overnight swing. That actually my Monday was practically done, right? I was just trying to close trades only. I still did played some trades, but that one we will go through on another day, right? So I actually hit, a couple, hit like 200 percenters, right? Afterwards on this dump, on the dump afterwards, right? So we knew we had the Apple news, right? So I hit 200 percenters, right? During this on the way down. Okay, but that one we will cover on the next video. Okay, alright, so thank you guys for coming, and then I hope to see you all in the next video. So like and share, and then join. If you want, you can join my free Discord group or follow my Twitter, right? So my free Discord group will be in the description below, right? And then also my Twitter will be in the description below. So that's where I also post my analysis, my charts, right? Or even some trading strategies, right? That sometimes I when I'm free, I'll do that, right? So for my room, I'll just give like alerts, do some educational session, or even give some lessons, right? Okay, right. So hope to see you all guys in the next video.